Welcome to Better Daily Life, where we are moving forward 1% better every single day. Download the app and supercharge your journey at betterdaily.life. Now it's time to ditch facts and get facts with your host and my dad, Alex Van Houten.
What is up, Betterment family? This is Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Happy Thursday. It is Word Thursday, and on Word Thursday, I share with you some meditations on a word, and the word today is miracle. I'm very excited to share this word with you. Before I get there, I want to encourage you, if you haven't already, get registered for the Faithful 40 Challenge. It starts October 1st, so that gives us just over a week before the Faithful 40 Challenge kicks off and gets underway. We already have record number of registrations as of the week prior to the Faithful 40 Challenge, so this is going to be an awesome challenge. I really love seeing the goals that everybody's working on, the obstacles that they're working to overcome, and the commitments that they're making to do so. So you can catch us at betterdaily.live/faithful40, or you can find the link in the show notes for this particular episode. Now, the word miracle. This is a wild word. A lot of people have a weird relationship with this word, so I'm going to treat it with kid gloves, but I'm also going to try to dive deep into it. So first, the definition of the word miracle, or at least as we use it today, if you Google it or check it out in Webster's, is something along the lines of an event or occurrence that seems to defy the laws of nature and so is attributable to the supernatural. Another definition of the word miracle is something that is awe-inspiring and surprising. So that's an interesting definition. In fact, if you trace the etymology of the word back into the French, the Old English, and then even to the Greek, you get things like an unexpected but wonderful event, or a powerful healing, or an event only attributable to God. But it was in the Greek that I found a definition that, well, it challenged the way I understood miracles. And because there's the definitions of miracle that really put the spotlight on events. You know, there's a whole bunch of events throughout, especially the biblical corpus, but maybe if you look back, you might think of a few events in your life that you consider miraculous. And they're big, they're huge, like Moses is running from the Egyptian army who has changed its mind about whether or not the Israelites need to go free. And so the Israelites are stuck between them and the sea, and Moses raises his staff and hits the water, and the seas part, right? And that's one miracle, kind of cap-ending the litany of miracles where, the plagues hit Egypt, but the sicknesses didn't hit the Israelites, right? Or there's plague after plague hitting Pharaoh. If you're Pharaoh, you don't think that's very miraculous. You think this is very, what's the word? Unfortunate. If you're the Egyptians, these are a series of unfortunate events, whereas if you're the Israelites, these are all miraculous things that God's fighting on our behalf and we're going to get out of Egypt, right? Or you could think of the miracles of some of the major prophets. Like Elijah raises somebody from the dead. If I remember right, at one point in the Old Testament, there is a man that gets thrown on Elisha's bones, and he's no longer dead. He is a dead man. He hit the bones and then pops back to life, like even Elisha's bones bring him back from the dead, right? And there are miracles where people are healed and flour and oil don't run out. There's quite a few accounts of events in the biblical corpus that are labeled as miraculous. Like, this is a miraculous thing. But fast forward to the Greeks, and something that was interesting about the word miracle for the Greeks was that it wasn't just the event. This thing might be amazing, and it might be noteworthy, and it might be attributable to the supernatural. But the way the word miracle was used in the Greek had more to do with the person viewing the event than it did the event itself. Miracle was to say, the capacity to be inspired and in awe of what is occurring around you. So imagine the night sky. Have you ever gone out when it's like really, really dark outside and there's no light pollution or whatnot, and you look up at the stars and they are so bright. They're so bright. And even that in and itself could be awe-inspiring, especially when you start to think about how vast the universe is and how crazy big it must be for all these suns, basically, these giant stars, to be millions, billions, even trillions of miles away, and yet you're seeing light that emitted from them millions and millions of years ago. It took a million years for that photon to hit your eye. Does that not blow your mind? And then you're looking up at the night sky and you see a shooting star. Whoa, that's so awesome. It's awesome, right? Because you can see it. But what if you're blind? What if your eyes are closed and you're looking up at the sky and you completely miss the shooting star? It's not that the event didn't occur. It's that you didn't see it. And I know that's a weird analogy, and I promise I'm going somewhere with this, but this is the difference between the word miracle in the sense that some people use it, like an event, this huge thing that happens that can't be explainable by anything else, and then the attitude or condition of the person viewing the event. A blind person does not see a shooting star as, and if you're blind, I'm sorry, I'm not stepping on your toes here, I'm just saying, a blind person does not see a shooting star as an awe-inspiring event. Not because the shooting star didn't happen, not because the shooting star is not there, but because they don't see it. So I walked into the gas station recently, and there was a young man behind the counter. He's probably about 17 years old, something like that. Good morning, Janet. Good to see you this morning. And I'm with my boys, and we just finished church. We had to stop and grab a gallon of milk. And he was behind the counter, and I said, hey, brother, how's your day going? And he goes, just another day. And like, I couldn't, it wouldn't be a very human thing for me to do, to reach across the counter, pick him up and shake him by his shoulders, punch him in the face, set him back down, and then ask him the question again. Because in that moment, for me, sure, this is just another day, but for me, I had spent some time with my boys, and it felt particularly miraculous. If you're a parent and you've spent any time with your children, when you're present and you're focused and you get to see the little miracles that they're growing up to be. He says on the other side of the counter, it's just another day. And I said, well, yeah, it is, with an attitude like that, man. You woke up this morning. Hey, let's make something of it, buddy. And he looked at me like, what is this guy smoking? But there is a very deep truth to being the guy standing on one side of the counter thinking it's just another day, and the guy standing on the other side of the corner going, no, you don't understand. Today is a miracle, dude. You won't see it with your eyes closed. You won't see it. Einstein said that there are two ways to live your life. One way is that nothing is a miracle. He was talking about all the laws of physics that they don't break. they don't tend to break. Gravity's doing its thing, man. You jump 100 times, you'll fall 100 times. That's how it works. One way is to live as if nothing is a miracle. The other way to live is as if everything is a miracle. When you woke up this morning, you had an opportunity, and you still do have an opportunity, to look around at your life and see some of the most wonderful and awe-inspiring things. And it might not be Moses parting the Red Sea. It might not be dead men raising. Maybe it is, but that's not been the regular occurrence in my life anyway. But your day is filled with little miracles if you'll pay attention. And my promise to you, and what I think is important about this betterment journey, or at least for this betterment journey from the word miracle, is that if you'll try to cultivate that sense of awareness, that sense of awe, that sense that the moments are special and you're never going to get them back, and that your days, even if they feel mundane or if the work you're doing is difficult, if you're tired, if you're in pain even, it's hard to cultivate those feelings in that sense. But if you'll just try to do it, if you'll just try to find one little miracle today, what's crazy is you'll see it. It's as if the blind man looking for the shooting star all of a sudden can see. And the shooting star is something that it was there all along. He just didn't see it. My encouragement to you is not to think of miracles as big, giant events. They happen. I have several accounts of them in my own life that I was a witness to. But instead, I would encourage you, or at least from my meditations on the word miracle, I would encourage you to work to cultivate that deep, deep awe for every day. If nothing else, even from an evolutionary perspective, which is deeply scientific and mundane, if nothing else, you are here today. Somebody tried to estimate this, like the improbability of the Big Bang over billions of years, resulting in the formation of stars, then the formation of planets, then the formation of planets like Earth that could be in the Goldilocks zone to support life, and the probability that there would be as much water as is here, and the temperature being just like it's supposed to be, and that we haven't been hit by a meteorite or asteroid, and that prokaryotes and eukaryotes evolved into multicellular beings and pushed all the way through, and that human beings didn't die out during the ice age and the great extinction over 2 million years ago, that we learned to use fire, and that your ancestors struggled and scraped and put everything together, that your mom found your dad, and boom, there you are. Something like 100 trillion. 1 in 100 trillion. If you add all those probabilities up, you are a 1 in 100 trillion event, according to science. So even if you don't buy all this mumbo-jumbo, you get to choose. Is that a miracle, or is it not? And if it is, if you being here is a miracle, I hope you'll look for some other ones today. Guys, this has been Alex Van Houten in Better Daily Live. Thank you so much for joining me for Word Thursday. Tomorrow is Flex Friday. We're going to dive into something from an exercise perspective that will help you on your 1% better journey. Until next time, it's just 1%. You got this.
Thank you for joining us for your 1% better. Be you, just better, in mind, body, and spirit. Go to betterdaily.life, download our app, and check out our 5-star coaching resources. We all have a cross to carry. It's lighter when we do it together. Go to betterdaily.life today.